So I wanted to make a little video because it is raining in the desert. And this is so magical. It doesn't rain. Mark, who's been here for 12 years, said he's never seen this before. That it rains this early in the season. And it rained twice now since I've been here. And it's rained twice each time that I've done a ceremony. The day that the shamans came and we went down to the beach and we did the ceremony on the beach, it rained. And now today I was in the water again and I did another long prayer session in the water. And again now this afternoon it's raining and people are just leaving the beach here now, and it is such a beautiful rain. It is in the desert, it is warm. And you can hear the lightning and the thunder off in the distance. And all last night we watched the lightning and thunder roll over. It didn't rain last night. But wow, it is so magical. The rain in the desert. You know, usually the rain, when it rains, wherever I've been from, it's been cold and it's been windy and ugly. And usually when it rains, you run to get shelter. But in this rain, it is so warm and so nice and so refreshing that you just go out to it. And it is just like the most beautiful thing. It is just like a gift from the heavens, the rain out here. And I came underneath the shade a little bit here that I've got set up just to get a little, so the phone doesn't get wet. But I'm gonna head out to the rain again and just enjoy it a little bit right now. It is so beautiful. And I just thought I'd get this on the camera because it just doesn't rain in the desert. And it rained twice now, and both times when I did the ceremonies in the water. And I feel like this is a real sign, and it's a real blessing, and it's a real confirmation that these prayers are being answered. And what I was working with was the idea of the fresh water coming into this valley. And the idea of the fresh water being new dreams and new visions coming into this place and being enlivened in this valley. Because this is where everything begins and where everything ends. All the water of the world begins here and ends here. So I feel like this salty water is kind of like our ideas of the world. It's stagnant. There's no water flowing into the salt sea anymore, and the water's been taken off and it's drying up. And as it dries up and no fresh water comes in, it's almost like our ideas in the world, like our ways of seeing the world are drying up. They're getting more and more rigid, more and more solid, more and more kind of dry and just salty. It seems like we're all just, I don't know, life is tough these days. It's hard to think of our way out of it. It's hard to even imagine a different way of living. And I feel like by working with this water, when I first came here, I put a pendant, or I put a orgone in the freshwater spring because that's what I wanted to work with, was the fresh water. And now every time I've done the ceremony, it's rained with fresh water here. And also since I've been here, the water is starting to come up from the ground. When I look around here, it's almost muddy walking on the beach. We're maybe a couple 100 meters up from the water and the tree row. And it's I don't know if you can see it out there, but all along here, even up to my zula here, the water is starting to come up from the ground. The ground is getting muddy, and it's hard to walk through. Your feet get covered in this clay-like mud. And it's like the water is coming up from the ground now. Not only is it coming from the sky, it's coming up from the ground. It's so interesting, and I feel like this is the fresh ideas that are about to flow into this water. And this water is what seeds our dream world, I believe, in some way. So I feel like by this fresh water coming in to the Dead Sea now, it's bringing in new ideas, fresh ideas, sweet ideas. They call it sweet water here. And it's bringing in sweet ideas and new dreams of a new world. And it's starting to take our thoughts, which have become kind of dried up and crystallized and salty, these thoughts that had trapped us in the world that we're in right now, this very harsh reality. So many of us are working so hard. I hear people losing their houses, being sick, and there's just awful stories out there. What is this? This is our thoughts just becoming crystallized down into this kind of salty, crystallized thing where we can't think our way out of it. We can't think our way out of these situations that we're in. And so now as the sweet water begins to flow into the valley here and into the Dead Sea again, I feel like it's going to bring into our dreams and into our realities new ideas, the new ways of seeing the world, sweet ways, sweet water, sweet ways of seeing the world. And it won't become so salty and bitter anymore. So that's the idea, and that's kind of the general idea of the prayer. So I just thought I'd film the rain. It's stopping, so I'm going to get out here and enjoy it. Hopefully it'll come a little bit more today later on. But for now, that is that. Over and out.